Hey everybody and welcome to the channel. This is going to be a Let's Play of Divinity Original Sin 2. It's a game that came out just a little bit ago. It's a role play type game where you take on the persona of a character and play through the story. So that's what we're going to be doing. This is a YouTube specific series, so this was not going to be on my Twitch channel. This is purely for YouTube. So without further ado, let's just jump into it. Let's get a story going. We're going to be doing single player because we don't have any friends to play with or friends in general. Let's go ahead and do, does it tell us what these are? So I'm guessing easy mode, explorer mode, classic mode, and tactician mode, honor mode. Let's see what these say. A classic role-playing experience. You are cunning, resourceful, and prepared for the perils that await. What is tactician? Bring it on. Combat is demanding, and your foes are devious and observant. For every surprise you spring, they will respond with two of their own. Not for the faint of heart. Let's try it out. The range of bows and crossbows and interesting gear. A demon... What? Oh, it changed. Always keep an eye out for new and interesting gear. Remember, the townsfolk guards and enemies have their own alliances. Attacking one may mean dealing with them all. Okay. So don't just randomly attack guards, townsfolk, and enemies. Especially on tactician difficulty. This might be a bit of a challenge. Let's try it out. Okay. So we got characters. We got dwarf, elf. Now the interesting about elves in this game, let's read through these. So if you guys don't know how I do Let's Plays, how I do all my game playthroughs, I'm very in-depth. I like to read everything. I like to, see the lore of the game. Somebody spent a lot of time putting all the lore into the game, so in my mind, it's worth reading it. It's worth, hearing the backstory of the game and at least uncovering, as the majority of the game that we can. So that's what we're going to do. If you don't like it, you can skip ahead or watch somebody else's playthrough. It's just how I run my thing. So the dwarf, between haves and have-nots alike, dwarves are fiercely nationalistic. Even the poorest dwarf would die for their dwindling kingdom, but not all would die for the queen. Interesting. So kingdom before the ruler of it, which I can understand. A lot of people actually share that viewpoint, especially nowadays. So the dwarves get petrifying touch, which you turn a nearby target to stone, incapacitating it. Deal 5 to 6 earth damage. Removes bleeding, burning, poisoned, and crippled. Interesting. Okay, so if a nearby target is bleeding, burning, poisoned, or crippled, this will turn them to stone, but it'll take away all those other effects. That's a very interesting concept. No. Gotta live Windows 10, man. Domo protection. Create a magical field that restores magic and physical armor and increases elemental resistance on allies in an area. That's nice. Restore 9 physical armor and 8 magic armor. Okay. 13 meter range duration, 5 turns. So if you guys don't know, there are 2 types of attacks. There's physical attacks, magic attacks. You will have 2 different armor bars, gray being physical, blue being magical, I believe, going into this. And you'll notice there is a lot of elemental effects in this. So earth, there's like, a lot of status effects in this game. So you can see there, bleeding, burning, poisoned, crippled. You can get shocked. You can get wet. There's all kinds of different stuff. So that is definitely something to take note of. They also get sturdy, which gives them a plus 10 maximum vitality and plus 5% dodging. Okay. And dwarven guile, which gives them a plus 1 in sneaking. That's an interesting take. And then we'll get to this here in a second, but you can build your preset, which gives you all kinds of different fighting styles, all kinds of different weapons of choice. Exactly, rogue versus wayfarer versus wizard. Different ways to go about it. What was that sound? All right, let's go ahead and bring it back to fighter, and you can also see them, well, naked, with armor, with helmet, without, female versus male. Going through. We're gonna go ahead and play male character. Elves. I don't know this word. The Annals? I don't know what that means. The Elvendom are written in flesh. Elves eat of the dead and absorb their memories. Now, the elves are in peril. An unforgettable hero must rise. So that is an interesting take. This game took on elves that I've never actually seen before, and it's that elves devour flesh and gain the insights and memories of the person whose flesh they're eating. So that's definitely an interesting take that I hadn't seen before, and it's something that really plays into the game. Far as I know, like I said, I only got a little ways into it, but they gain Flesh Sacrifice, gain 1 action point immediately, and a 10% damage boost for 2 turns at the cost of 1 Constitution. Any action points over the maximum are lost. Okay, okay. And it sets Flesh Sacrifice for 2 turns, which, okay. Dome of Protection, we read that. That's one that the dwarves share with them. Corpse Eaters, this is what I was talking about. It lets you eat body parts to access the memories of the dead. They don't eat live people, they eat dead people. Just if anyone was having any moral dilemmas or problems with that. Ancestral Knowledge, it gives you +1 Lore Master. Let's see, who else do we have here? The humans. Adventurous, confident, flexible at times, even clever. Humans are dominant in Rivellon. They always play the hero in their own endless wars, even when they're the villains. Interesting. Encourage, it encourages allies around you, increasing their primary attributes. You can set Encourage for 3 turns. Okay. Dome of Protection, another one that they share with elves and dwarves. Indigenous gives you 2 bonus initiative and 5% extra critical chance. It also gives you Thrifty, which is +1 to bartering. There's the Lizards. Now this is another interesting race. The Lizards. Excuse me. To most, lizards are as exotic and mysterious as the ancient empire itself. The outside world knows them as warriors, philosophers, and slavers to be respected and feared. Dragon's Blaze, so they can breathe fire, breathe flames in a cone, dealing 4 to 5 fire damage and leaving fire surface behind. It sets burning for 2 turns, and is resisted by magic armor, 7-meter range, and then also Dome of Protection, so I'm curious, does every race have the Dome of Protection, I guess? I don't know. Sophisticated gives you +10% fire resistance and +10% poison resistance. And Spell Song, +1 in Persuasion from Spell Song. Okay. And then this is another interesting factor aspect that this game brings in, is it has undead. So the undead, and there's one for each dwarven, elven, human, and lizard. And you can see all their descriptions. The undead are considered abominations in Rivellon and an affront to the natural order, whose mere presence invites violence. Those who walk among the living must do so masked. So obviously, the living are afraid of the undead. They'll attack you on sight if you reveal yourself as an undead. You have play dead, fool enemies into thinking you're dead. Cooldown of skills will be paused. Any action you take will cancel the status. So if you're getting destroyed and your teammates aren't, you could play dead and have your teammates continue the fight. So that way they can pull the aggro, you can get up. It works for 3 turns. It does not break invisibility or sneaking. Create a magical... Oh, Dome of Protection. They have it as well. Okay. And then Undead lets you heal from poison, but regular healing will damage you instead. So there's healing vials and there's poison vials. A living person would get damaged from a poison vial, whereas an undead gets healed by it, and vice versa. And then Corpse Eater. Because he's an elf, he gains the elf. So the undead dwarf gains one of the dwarven abilities. The undead human gains one of the human abilities, and again for the lizard, same thing. And then there are these are the key characters. They're origin story characters. So they're characters that are in the story. They have their own backgrounds, their own quest lines, and so on and so forth. We'll learn a little bit about some of them in the game. There's a couple. There's Beast the dwarf. There's Fane the undead. There's I believe it's Ifan Ben Mezid, I believe. Human. Losa, she is human as well, I believe. Yes. Yeah. I mean, she's got the human traits here, so I'm gonna go ahead and assume that she is human. And then Red Prince, obviously a lizard. Sibyl, I believe is how you say that, and it's she's an elf. And that brings us back to the beginning. So now we have to figure out what kind of character we want to play. And to be totally honest, I'm not entirely sure. You know, there's all kinds of different stuff. I'm not going to play one of the origin story characters. We're going to make one of our own. I am going to play a male, so let's just flip over to that. You know, I am torn. I'm thinking dwarf, to be totally honest with you. It kind of takes away from, I'm not really feeling the undead. It kind of takes away, but in the game you'll be able to pick up 3 allies from different characters, different of the origin story characters that we were just looking at. And you really want, from what I can tell, you really want to pull one of each kind of specialty, so that way you can unlock the access to it. So having an elf on your team, so that way you can be able to unlock the ability to eat the flesh and gain knowledge. Having an undead would be useful, so that way you can gain the abilities that they hold. And you know, having a lizard would help as well. You know, being able to unlock the fire breath. There's different aspects that you really want to gain from them. So I'm thinking, I'm kind of torn. If I was to be a leader of a group, so obviously I'm gonna want Sabil as the elf. Well, we'll get into it. We'll find him. I'm thinking dwarf. I've never done this playthrough with a dwarf. So this could be interesting. Let's try it. Let's try a dwarf. And then we've got all kinds of different presets. So there's which I believe you can even set your own presets to go in here, but we'll get to that. So just as a basis, we have Brutal Warrior and Expert in Close Combat as a fighter. They gain Battle Stomp. We'll get into what these skills do once we actually get into the game. Bouncing Shield and Fortify. Inquisitor, a daring mace wielder, risking life and limb to decimate evil head on. Interesting. Okay. The Knight, specialized in war tactics. Knights are trained not only to fight, but to rally troops. Okay, okay. A Metamorph, adapts to dangerous situations with transformational tricks of nature. A little dwarf trickster, maybe? Ranger, a marksman with legendary knack for self-preservation. I love how the bow is bigger than him. How cute. A rogue, with a lot of skill and a little luck, this rogue sees the world as an open coffer. Shadowblade, a powerful assassin whose arsenal of both daggers and magic would terrify any enemy if they ever saw it coming. Wayfarer, a survivalist and a practitioner of magic. The Wayfarer is hard to hit and even harder to evade. So it's like a ranger, wizard kind of type? Elemental ranger, I should say. Witch, an intimidating presence whose bone-chilling powers terrify friend and foe alike. The Wizard, a scholar of magic specialized in starting and ending battles with the flick of a wrist, exacting swift victory from a safe distance. Battle Mage, amplifies brute strength with powerful magic. Cleric, healing allies or smashes skulls. Oh, excuse me, heals allies or smashes skulls, depending on the direction of the winds. Conjure, conjures a trusty personal demon and elemental totems to aid in battle. An enchanter, prefers to turn the tide of battle from afar, manipulating foes with powerful magic. And back to the fighter. There are a lot. Definitely allows for some replaythroughs and different tactics and strategies as you set up different teams. You know, this is hard. I'm kind of torn. I'm thinking maybe Wayfarer or Cleric, maybe. Go the healer route? That'd be an interesting one, huh? Play the healer. You know what? Let's try it. Let's try a Dwarven Cleric. I like that. Got his foot up on the shield. That's cool. Alright, let's try it. What should be our name? Well, our name we'll just go by our name, which is Wrath. So we'll go with that. Let's jump over to appearance. Let's change up some look of our dwarf here. Big old manly burly dwarf. Alright, so we got different skin tones. We'll jump through some of these here real quick. Honey looks great. I'm loving it. Some facial features here. Can we dumb down the beard so I can see what I'm working with here? There's probably not a. Oh, there is an unbearded dwarf. Oh, all right. Here's what's fun. Let's see. What kind of face do we want? Oh wow. Ooh. I don't know. Maybe with an eye patch. That's kind of cool. No, he's so sad. Okay, let's see. I don't look so young. I love the eye patch, but I'm not a fan of the face. I'm just not feeling it. Let's go with I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I feel about that. Let's check out some hairstyles here. Oh, look at that. His hair is all pinned up. That's cool. Alright, what else we got here? Interesting, interesting. Okay. Okay, yeah, we can go with the balding look there. That's full on bald. Oh no, is there? Nope, no hair. There's no hair. Oh, it literally says none. Probably could have just read that. Alright, not too much to do with hair here. I'm kinda feeling this little pin back look. I'm kinda feeling it. What happens if we throw a helmet on? Oh, it kinda puts his hair down. Okay. Probably won't even see much of the hair then. That's alright. We'll go with this for now. Why not? Face looks fine. Face looks fine. We'll stick with it. It's char, lava cake. I love lava cake hair. Smoke, beast, black grape. Some interesting names for hair here. Can you imagine going into the hairstylist and just be like, yeah, can you dye my hair walnut cream? What? Peach, marzipan, caramel. How do you say it? Caramel? Caramel. I think I always say caramel. Except I totally just said it wrong the first time. Don't judge me. Walnut. Toffee. Toffee hair. Okay. Pumpkin butter. I'm just loving the names. Banana cream. Bisque. Okay. Chestnut. Alright. Chocolate cherries. Okay. Strawberry hair. Okay. And back to cinnamon. Let's go ahead and roll with, I'm kind of feeling smoke. What do you think? Smoke. We'll go smoke hair. And then he definitely needs a beard, so let's go ahead and throw a big, beautiful dwarven beard on him. Let's see. No, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. Something like this, you know, this big old, oh, there we go. Yeah, that's looking great. Oh, that one's even cooler. Look, it's got even like the rings on it. Oh, yeah, I'm loving it. Is there another one? No, we're definitely going number 7. Number 7, I'm feeling it. And then let's check out the, let's check out the voice. What do we got?
Greet the Reaper for me.
That's loud. Might need to test the audio here.
Greet the Reaper for me.
No.
I'll yield to none.
What'd he say?
Glory is mine.
Greet the Reaper for me.
Almost got me that time.
I'm kind of feeling warrior.
Prepare yourself.
Trickster's pretty good too.
Meet your maker.
Definitely not going scholar.
Meet your maker.
Nice try.
Let's go with warrior. It's a big just like that. Okay, so this is where you can customize your preset here. So we chose cleric, and this is what it gave us, but we can edit this and make it our own. So that way, again, it provides all this opportunity for more playthroughs to try out different combinations and stuff like that. So let's see. We've got strength, which increases your damage. Okay, I'll read it. Strength increases your damage with strength-based weapons and skills and allows you to lift and carry heavier items, so it does affect your encumbrance level. Plus 1 point is plus 5% damage. Wow, that's pretty good. Can move items with weight up to 75 kilograms, excuse me. Can carry items with total weight up to 100 kilograms before becoming encumbered. So there you can see exactly what it does. Intelligence determines intelligence-based damage deal. 1 point equals 5% damage. And Constitution determines how much vitality you have. 1 point adds 7% vitality. Okay, so you can change these. You can see we have 3 points right here, available attribute points to put in. I'm gonna stick with what they had. I think that's a good combination. To be honest with you, we can look at some of these other ones. Does it tell us? Yes. So let's go with finesse. Excuse me. It increases your damage with finesse-based weapons and skills. Plus 1 point equals 5% damage. We'll jump down here to, we read Constitution, let's read Memory. Memory affects the amount of memory slots which are required to learn skills. More powerful skills cost more memory slots. We'll look at that here in just a second. Base slots, 3. Extra slots for memory, 0. So if we added points here, we would get more. And 1 point equals 1 slot. There you go. Wits. Wits affect your critical chance, initiative, and the ability to detect traps and hidden treasure. So it actually affects quite a lot. 1 point would add 1% critical chance and 1 initiative. But again, we're gonna stick with what they had. I like it. Let's jump down to your abilities. So this is a list of all the abilities you can get. So you can see we have 1 point for civil abilities, and we have 2 points for combat abilities. I probably shouldn't have taken those off because I don't remember what they were. You can see we get 1 already in sneaking from being a dwarf. That was listed before. So now we need to put these into what we want them to be into. I don't remember what they were in just a second ago, so I didn't look at that, but we'll read through and see what we want here. Warfare increases all physical damage you deal. Next level 1, physical attacks will deal plus 5% more damage, so it's a way to do more damage, obviously. Huntsman increases the damage bonus when attacking from high ground, so this will probably be better for rangers. Next level 1, it's 5% to all damage when attacking from high ground. Note that this bonus is applied after all other bonuses have been applied. Interesting, I wonder what that would affect. Scoundrel increases movement speed and boosts your critical modifier. So next level would give you plus 5% critical multiplier and plus 0.3 movement speed. Pyrokinetic increases all fire damage you deal. So next level will give you plus 5% more damage to your fire. Hydrosophist. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Let me know. Hydrosophist increases all water damage you deal, and any vitality, healing, or magic armor restoration that you cause. Next level would give you water attacks deal 5% more damage, 5% more vitality, healed, 5% magic armor from skill and potions. I'm just going to put a point in that because we are the healer, so we're definitely going to want at least a point in that. Aerotheurge, I believe, increases all air damage you deal. Next level will give you air attacks, dealing an extra 5% more damage. Geomancer increases all poison and earth damage you deal, and any physical armor restoration you cause. Next level will give you poison and earth attacks, deal 5% more damage, 5% physical armor from skills and potions. Necromancer heals you whenever you deal damage directly to vitality. So next level would heal you for 10% of the damage dealt. Interesting. Could be a necromancer healer. That'd be an interesting twist. Summoning increases vitality, damage, physical armor, and magic armor of your summons and totems. Summons start with 5% more vitality, damage, physical armor, and magic armor. So this is if you're summoning allies onto the battlefield, like little familiars or totems. I'm thinking we go with Necromancer. We try out a Necromancer healer. That'd be an interesting twist. I've never done anything like that before. We'll try it out. And then you have your civil abilities. So we only have 1 point in these, so let's look at them. We have Craftsmanship category, which gives you telekinesis, allows you to move items telepathically regardless of weight. We have Lore Master, identifies enemies and allows you to identify items. Increasing Lore Master allows you to identify more and faster. Does this have a... Oh, it did. For telekinesis, it gives you an up to 4 meter range. This one, to identify, use an identifying glass and select the item you want to identify. To examine a monster or NPC, select them and choose examine. Okay. We have the Nasty Deeds category, which we have 1 point in. So this is where we can put one of our points. You can't. Oh, no, we can't. Oh, no, we have the point that's already in there. Of course, I knew that. So sneaking, which, again, we already have a point in, determines how well you can sneak without getting caught. Increasing this ability shrinks NPC sight cones and improves your movement speed while sneaking. Thievery. Excuse me, did this? No, yeah, we already did it. Okay. Thievery improves your lockpicking and pickpocketing skills. To pick locks, use a lockpick and click on the item. To pickpocket, click on a character while sneaking, and the next level will give you up to 2 kilograms or 300 total gold value. Okay. And then personality is another one. We have bartering. Bartering improves your haggling skills. With each point invested, traders' items become cheaper and your items become more expensive. We also have persuasion. Persuasion helps you convince characters to do your bidding in dialogues and increases how much characters like you. Next level 1 increases base attitude with strangers by 5. Because I really like getting into the conversation and there are a lot of dialogue options in games like this, I'm going to go with persuasion. Hopefully this is a good option. I'm not exactly sure because, again, I've only played a minimal amount of the game prior. Let's go ahead and confirm. And so we've got our abilities, we've got our attributes, and now we have skills. So for skills, these are from the 2 abilities that we chose earlier. So Hydrosophist and Necromancer. Now we have 3 slots that we can use. This is where it was talking about memory, and as you add memory, you can add more slots and more skills that you can get. So for Hydrosophist, we have Rain, which causes a spreading water surface which douses fire. Set wet status on all characters in the area. Again, like I said, there's a lot of status effects in this game. It sets wet for 1 turn. An 8 meter range. duration 1 turn. You have Restoration, restores vitality of our target character. Restoration also cures poisoned and bleeding. It restores 7 vitality for 2 turns, 13 meter range. This is actually pretty useful, seeing as we're a healer, so I'm going to go ahead and snag that. We'll throw it down there and see what else we can get here. Armor of Frost. Ice forms a defensive barrier around the target, providing 8 magic armor. It cures burning, poisoned, stunned, frozen, suffocating, and petrified. Set magic shell for 3 turns. That's really good. It takes away a lot of statuses and gives them 8 magic armor. That's pretty good. I'm going to throw it down here, and we'll see if we find something better. We have Hail Strike. Icicles fall from the sky, chilling enemies and dealing 3 to 4 water damage. They create ice surface where they hit the ground. It sets chilled for 2 turns. Damage is based on your level and receives bonus from intelligence. It's resisted by magic armor, has a 13 meter range and 1 meter explode radius. Interesting. Okay, and then let's check out Necromancer abilities. We have Bloodsucker. Target character consumes blood surfaces around them, restoring vitality. The more blood, the more they will be healed. Okay, so if there's pools of blood that you can find on the ground, and you suck that up and you get healed by it. Interesting. Restores up to 18 vitality. Wow. Depending on relevant surface area. That's a lot, seeing as how like this does 3 to 4 damage. This heals 8 magic armor. This heals 7 vitality. This heals up to 18 vitality. That's a lot. Decaying Touch. Deal 6 to 7 physical damage to target character. Sets decay, so the target will take physical damage from healing spells and potions. Interesting, so it applies the decaying status effect so that it changes so that way if somebody tries to use a healing potion on them, they actually get damaged by it. Damage is based on your level and receives a bonus from intelligence or is resisted by physical armor. Mosquito Swarm. Unleashes a swarm of giant mosquitoes to suck the blood from your enemies, dealing 6 to 7 physical damage and heals yourself. It restores vitality equal to the damage dealt. It sets bleeding for 2 turns. Damage is based on your level and receives a bonus from intelligence, and it's resisted by physical armor. 13 meter range, not bad. And raise a bloated corpse. Target a corpse to raise a bloated cadaver that fights for you. It can explode, dealing physical damage. A bloated corpse will be summoned at the location of your targets. Okay, so I've already got a healing spell here, so normally I would take the Mosquito Swarm, but I'm actually going to choose Raise Bloated Corpse here. I think that would be an interesting one to choose. To really test it out. So I just had a little bleep here. I just want to make sure that everything is still working correctly. Alright. Perfect. So, I think this would be an interesting one to check. We can raise enemies from the dead to fight for us. That'll be interesting. Let me just... Oh, can I swap these? Maybe not. That's alright. Whatever. My OCD got to me. Okay, so that's the preset. Let's jump over to talents here. What do we have for talents? Wow, so there is a lot here. So we've already got the ones that we got from being a dwarf, which are the Dwarven Guile and Sturdy. And then it's choosing Hothead for us. It thinks that we want this one. While you are at maximum vitality, Hothead grants you an extra 10% critical chance and 10% more accuracy. Interesting. So as long as you're at max health, you can do, you have better chance to hit and better critical hit chance. Okay, let's see what else we got here. We have Arrow Recovery. It gives you 33% more chance to recover a special arrow after shooting it. We don't need that. We're not shooting any arrows. Oh, there's Ambidextrous. I missed this. Reduces the cost of using grenades and scrolls by 1 action point when your offhand is free. I don't know that we're really going to be using that either. Once per combat, this is Comeback Kid. If an enemy lands a fatal blow, Comeback Kid will help you bounce back to life with 20% health. If you die and are resurrected in combat, Comeback Kid will be available again. That one sounds pretty useful. So if somebody kills me, I can come back with 20% health. That could be really useful. Elemental Affinity lowers the action point cost of spells by 1 when standing in a surface of the same element. The chances of us getting to a position where we stand in the exact same element as the spell we're trying to cast probably low. Escapist allows you to flee combat even when enemies are right next to you, so I'm guessing that takes away the attack of opportunity. Far Out Man increases the range of skills and scrolls by 2 meters. Does not affect melee and touch range skills. Okay. 5-star Diner doubles the effects of food and potions. That could be useful. Glass Cannon. You start every combat round with maximum action points, but magic and physical armor do not protect you from statuses. We're gonna want that defense, so. Gorilla. While sneaking, Gorilla increases attack damage by 40%. That would be really good if we were playing like a rogue type character. Have you read that? Ice King. A character with Ice King has an extra 15% water resistance, but takes 15% penalty to fire resistance. Additionally, the maximum water resistance is raised by 10. It requires the Hydrosophist, excuse me. Leech heals you when standing in blood. That could be useful. Living Armor adds 35% of all healing you receive by skills or consumables to your magic armor. Wow, so anytime you get healed, it boosts your magic armor. Let's go ahead and scroll down here. Lone Wolf provides +2 max action points, +2 recovery action points, +30% vitality, +30% physical armor, +30% magic armor, and double invested points in attributes and combat abilities, except polymorph ability, while you are adventuring solo or with at most one companion. This bonus is temporarily removed while there are more than 2 members in the current party. So this only works if you're trying to like solo or go with one person. How do you say that? Mnemonic, I believe. Mnemonic gives you 3 extra points to your memory attribute. So gain 3 extra spells right off the bat there. Morning Person. When resurrected, you resurrect to full health. An Opportunist gives you the ability to perform attacks of opportunity. Parry Master gives you 10% dodging while dual wielding. Okay. Pet Pal enables you to talk to animals. Savage Sortilege. Savage Sortilege gives all magical skills a critical chance equal to your critical chance score. Interesting. Slingshot adds an extra 5-meter range to your grenade throws. Stench decreases everyone's attitude towards you by 25, but melee weapons find you less attractive in combat. Nobody wants to hit you because he stinks so bad. Torture increases the duration of damage statuses caused by your skills and surfaces by 1 turn. Unstable makes you explode in a bloody cloud when you die, dealing 50% of your vitality as physical damage in a 3-meter radius. Walk It Off reduces all status durations by 1 turn, including positive statuses. Does not affect statuses with a duration of 1 turn. What a Rush increases your recovery and maximum action points by 1 when your health is below 50. 50%. And then these are ones that we don't actually have access to, like this requires Warfare 1, this one requires Huntsman 1, this one requires Huntsman 1, so we won't even look at these, we're not able to get them. Man, there's a lot of options to go after. The Comeback Kid sounded really like a good option. When resurrected, when you are dealt a fatal blow, you come back with 20% health. What else did we see that we really liked here? Mnemonic would be good. It gives us the 3 extra points, so we could put some of those extra 3 extra memory slots, so we could put more spells into our opening catalog there. But Opportunist, able to perform attacks of opportunity, could be pretty useful. Let's go ahead and snag this one. We'll snag this one. So if anybody tries to move past us to get to our allies, we'll get a shot at them. We'll try that out. Tags. Now this is an interesting aspect of the game as well. So you have tags that allow different dialogue opportunities. So say having the Barbarian unlocked, you'll have a chance to use some Barbarian type dialogue that will influence your conversation with NPCs. So Barbarian, they call you a savage, an animal. They don't know what it's like to need to fight tooth and claw just to survive. You do. I don't feel like that's really my character. Jester with a quick with a whip. Wow. Quick with a quip and swift of song. You are an entertainer above all. You can disarm the public with your body tales and mesmerize them with midnight frights. Okay. Mystic. Cracks in reality lead you to other times and places, some of the void, some of the gods. Your wisdom is not quite your own, but you can make use of it. I like that. I like that for this character. Noble. Born to riches and luxury, you have an aristocratic bearing, eloquent speech, and the finest manners. That's a good one too. Outlaw. Back alleys and rooftops know well the tread of your boot. You've got friends in low places and enemies to match. Scholar. Intelligent and curious, your appetite for learning far exceeds your taste for bloodshed. Books and scrolls are your dearest possessions. And soldier, trained in order, obedience, and warfare, you know the difference between a latrine and a lieutenant. Okay, I'm gonna go with noble, and I think you can choose more than one. Mystic. Yeah, available tags, 0 now. So, I'm gonna go with noble and mystic. I like it. I like it. And lastly, instruments. Oh, we also had, dwarf for being a dwarf and male for being male, so those are other tags that we get there. Now this is something that really doesn't affect the game, but it's more for you. So whenever any key event happens, it'll play a tune, and you get to choose what instrument will play that tune. The bansuri. Did you hear that? The tambura. Let me know if I'm saying these totally wrong, which I'm sure I am. Okay. The oud? It's a beautiful sound. And the cello. I personally am a fan of the cello, so we're going to go with that one. Okay, and that wraps up character creation. We'll go ahead and start game. Are you sure you're done with character creation? Yes, we are. Let's get into it.